Alright, welcome to this brand new Calibra video. Today I'm going to remove my old gritty cluster and I'm going to paint it and I'm going to replace the dials on it. So first things first, take off all the plastics. First off, around the steering column, just 2 bolts, and you don't need to remove the bottom one. You just need to take off the upper one. And then till the steering wheel, get those 2 bolts so you can remove the top one. Just slide it out from the rubbers, from the stalks. Pulls right out, pretty simple. Then just use a screwdriver or whatever to pry out the part on the bottom of the cluster. Pretty simple, a bit tricky to get out, but no big deal. Then we go on to removing the bolts from the cluster. Just take the bolts out, and I also unscrewed the light switch because I'm going to need that for easier access. Just pull this piece of plastic off, then I pull this out. So as you can see, there's a nice hole in there, which I used to get my tiny hand in there. So if you have a girlfriend, use her to do that. Oh wait, you have an opal, you don't have a girlfriend, whoops. The next trick is to get the front part of the cluster out first. You have to take these clips out, but the top ones are tricky. The right one is pretty easy, but for the left one you have to go like behind it with a small screwdriver and pry it out. A bit tricky, but not too bad. So then you need to take this part out first, also pull out the reset pin thingy-majiggy. Then you need to like maneuver it out. It's a bit of trickery. Also don't lose these plates for the warning lights. Then you need to go behind there. You need to unhook the speedo cable. It's just a little metal clip that you unclip with your hands. Then you also need to pull out 2 cables. That's pretty much it. Next thing is just shimmying it out slowly, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now on to installing the actual new dials. So here's my old and battered gauge cluster. So as you can see, stuff is peeling off bad. It's awful. So today I'm gonna replace this sticker folds or whatever it is, and I got brand new ones, which are awesome. If you want to get a set of these, they are on eBay from a person called Dials for You, and you need to take notice they're not Calibra, but they're for an Astra Mark III, because it's basically the same cluster as a Vectra or a whatever they have, the voxels or whatever, but they are in miles. But if you email him, you can get a set in kilometers, so that's pretty good. So this is how it's gonna be after we are done with it. I think it's gonna be pretty sick, at least better than this garbage. And I also got some fresh new bulbs for the backlight, because mine are like missing and shot, so it's gonna be pretty good. So the first step is to get rid of all the actual dials, and it's quite tricky. They're like glued on or stuck or whatever, so we need to get them off without breaking. And the guide says you need to use 2 teaspoons, get under them and nicely lift from both sides, like this way and this way, so you lift it equally so you don't manage to break anything. We're gonna try that. Hopefully nothing breaks, because, well, that would be a major pain in the ass. With the actual sticker faces, you also get a diagram on how to disassemble and replace, as you can see, the spoon method. And it's pretty good. They're pretty cheap, so I guess I would recommend them, but we're gonna see how it shines, so stick around for that. God knows what's gonna happen. There's noises. I'm not quite excited about that. Oh! Okay. Flying dials. I think I managed to get it off normally. It didn't break really, so should be alright then. Okay. Job well done. I have to do 3 more and hope none of them break. I feel so stupid with these spoons, seriously. It's kinda silly. So I finally got this one off. It broke a little bit, but it was really sketchy, it was shaking and stuff, so I think I'm going to just use some super glue and should be okay, but at least it's in one piece or the shaft or anything didn't snap, so that's pretty great. A pain in the ass really, but now I'm just gonna scrape all this off, put the new stickers on, and then we're golden. It's also good to pry these out. It's like little frames for the numbers. It's pretty simple, just a little screwdriver. And just gently, there it is. Numbers, nice. Yep, I'm using this stove scraper, it does very good work. So here it is, it looks pretty damn fire. Everything went smooth. I glued this back together and put it on, just sticking back on. The fitment is alright, there's a little bit of a gap here, but not too much. Everything's pretty good. So yeah, I think it's pretty great. Now on to the next step, which is cleaning up that mess. Oh Jesus. Now I want to take these two apart, because I want to paint the inside black just like how it was. You can see it was already done once, somebody painted it white and it's crappy and I hate it, so we gotta go black. Yes, so I'm just gonna cut the silicone off, get them apart, and there we go. Now just fine sanding it down, painting it with a spray can, then putting it back together. So with my amazing luck I managed to burn the cluster, of course, so all the diagnostic bulbs and shit stopped working. You can see where it burned. Nice fun. I soldered a new wire on, still doesn't work, so I guess it's just my luck with this piece of shit. So now I'm gonna take all of this apart, test it, hopefully get it to work if it's this. Otherwise I can throw this in the trash. So here's my little fix, a new wire. Look, it doesn't look nice, but I think it's gonna work fine because I tested the connections and it's good, so install. So here it is, the final product, looking pretty good, everything works well, except ignore that ABS light. I fixed it by soldering that stuff, so I think it would have been a bit cooler if it was more matte black and like more grayish than black, but for this money that I put into it, I think it's good. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.